Can you imagine doing 6 deals using business credit cards? That's today's video. Let's jump into it. What's up? It's Mike Banks with Fund&Grow. Even though they look at your personal credit, they don't report business credit lines onto your personal credit report. That's huge.
Fund&Grow, and they have literally helped thousands of our clients out there.
Having access to credit is kind of what motivated me to do that. It pushed me over that edge and said, stop, being hesitant, just do it, jump in. So
teamed up, and my wife and I were able to get access to right around $180,000.
Bottom line, right? What you do is your company goes out there and you basically line up funding for people.
These guys are experts in getting you business lines of credit at 0% interest.
It's our intention and our team's intention to help every single client that walks in the door with us to get hundreds of thousands of dollars of funding to help our families and communities grow by creating thriving, successful businesses.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Mike Banks. I'm the Chief Operations Officer at Fund&Grow, and today we have a really special interview lined up with one of our clients. He's an awesome real estate investor, and he's done 6 deals as a cash buyer funded through his business credit lines that we set up for him at Fund&Grow, because that's what we do for real estate investors. We set up business credit lines within a couple weeks. You can get up to $150,000. So we're going to break this whole process down. I'm going to bring Maurice on, and we're going to just jump right into the meat and potatoes. How you doing, Maurice?
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
Doing great. Thank you so much for coming on with us today. We are excited to be talking about this topic because I personally love doing real estate deals. I'm in the middle of a flip, like I was just telling you before. Got the sprinklers spraying all the water all over the house, and there's iron in the water, so I ended up having to get that taken care of. My fresh paint job now has brown stains on it, but that's just the way it is. There's always something going on with a real estate deal, some type of complexity or something to deal with. But today we're going to talk about the deals that you've done. I know you're doing buy and hold deals from what you were telling me, and I believe you said you've done 6 deals, which is amazing, all funded through the business credit cards that you got with Fund&Grow. So why don't you just give everybody an idea of like how long you've been in the real estate game, how long you've been doing deals, and just give everybody a little bit of an idea of your background and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I've been in real estate going on 2.5 years now. Started out just hacking my own house. We moved out of our house and we started buying and hold once we left our house and we became landlords. So at that point in time, I was on Bigger Pockets just asking a couple questions about landlording. Then I seen some information about Fund&Grow. At that point in time, my antennas got perky and I wanted to understand a little bit more about it. Once I called in and got some information about how the credit cards worked. My background is in mortgages, so I worked at a big bank here in Ohio. So I knew a little bit about mortgages and how credit and things worked, but I didn't understand the business credit card sides. So after getting that information, I understood that and I was ready to go.
That's awesome. So you've got some experience with mortgages, and I know a lot of people out there like, how do you do a deal with a business credit card? How do you buy a house with a business credit card? And obviously you have mortgage experience. You're not a rookie. You've done multiple deals, right? How long have you been in real estate? How long did you say?
2.5 years now.
2.5 years now. And how many deals have you done total?
I've done 6 total.
6 total. And every one of those was funded with business credit cards, right?
That is correct, yes.
And then
So the way we do it is you basically go and you tell them you're a cash buyer, and you get a discount for that. So when you go in, you're negotiating just as a cash buyer. My realtor or the other people do not know anything about how I'm buying the house. They just know it's a cash buy deal.
Right, because just like when you're buying with like actual cash that's in your bank account, how do you do it? You send a wire to the title company, and then they put that money in escrow, and then you're buying the house as a cash buyer. No financing, no wait time, and it's the exact same thing with business credit lines, you can send the wire just like you would from your bank account, send it right over to the title company, and now you're a cash buyer. And to the title company, doesn't matter, it doesn't make a difference. To the seller of the property, they have no clue because you're sending a wire, and it's just as good as it is literally cash. So it's turning a lot of people who are not even real estate investors, or they're only doing a couple deals here and there because they don't have the cash, and they don't want to use a hard money lender because that's a lot of money. That's a lot in fees and interest. So there are tons of our clients, just like Maurice, are becoming real estate investors and growing their wealth and creating passive income, because I know you're doing a lot of rental deals. So this is it's just so exciting to me that you can fund deals this way without really having to have too much know-how. You don't have to figure out the hard money lender thing, get the deal approved. A lot of hard money lenders, they need an amazingly good deal. It's like at a really low price if they're going to fund it.
Right.
And a lot of times you still got to come out of pocket to cover the gap in what they don't want to lend, because they don't always lend the full amount that you need. But with business credit, I mean, you guys just heard it. Maurice has done 6 deals, and he's done it all with business credit lines, which don't show up on your personal report either, which is a big benefit.
That's
How much?
the best part.
Yeah, because imagine if those were all mortgages or personal credit lines. That would be killing your personal scores. What are your scores right now? Do you know? If you don't mind.
So when I started with the program, I was at a 710.
Hmm.
Throughout the program, I started increasing. Right now, I'm at an 820. So
Wow.
going through the program, it also helped boost my score. And
Yep.
if I would have put those mortgages on there for those deals, I would have tanked.
That is awesome. So you started with a 710, and now you have an 820, you said?
Yes.
It's amazing. So many people think this is somehow a bad play for their personal credit by getting access to business credit lines, because they do look at your personal credit in order to qualify, right? But the truth is, you just heard it from our client, who's you've been with us for a year and a half or so, roughly.
Yes. A year and a
Yeah.
half.
Yeah. And you started with a 710. Now you've got an 820. You've got way more credit available. You own 6 properties now, right? That's awesome. And have you refinanced those properties?
Only one property I have refinanced right now.
Okay.
The other ones is just the rent is being able to be applied straight to the credit card. So it's paying down the credit card quicker than me
Ah,
going back and refinance it. So basically 9 to 10 months, I'll be really have the zero debt on that credit card.
nice. That is awesome. That is just awesome. So tell us a little bit more about some of the deals. Let's hear the one that you were telling me, it was a higher price point on it. I think you said it was a package deal. Tell us the details of that.
Yeah, so the package deal I had got was 4 homes for 60,000. All right, so 2 of them were already rented and 2 were vacant. If I didn't have the credit cards, I would not have been able to go in and rehab them. I rehabbed 2 of them and put new roofs on all 4. At that point in time, now I'm forcing the appraised value of those homes a lot higher than I would be able to if I wasn't able to just go and purchase and use my own cash.
Hmm.
So one of the houses we're getting $800 a month. One of the other houses we're getting 1,200. Another house we're getting 8, and then the last house we're getting 500 for, because that was already a tenant that we inherited. So we have to abide
Beautiful.
by, in our state laws, that you have to abide by the lease.
Hmm. Nice. I'm just
So
adding this
we're
up
getting
real
nice.
quick.
Yeah.
So that's $3,300. Wow.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people are
Just on
hearing
those 4
this.
houses.
This is such a big deal to me. You are doing deals that you were not able to do before, all funded through business credit lines. You bought 4 houses for $65,000. You're collecting $3,300 a month off of that 65,000. That is the rental investor's dream right there. To be able to only spend $65,000 and collect $3,300 a month. That is
Right.
sick. That is so beautiful. I know a lot of buyers that I've got in my network, as far as like cash buyers who are doing rental deals. They are happy if they get a deal that they pay $100,000 for and collect $1,000 a month in rent. So you're doing $65,000 price point and you're collecting $3,300. So you're literally like more than three times, you know, of a better deal, basically, because
Right.
that's their formula is usually about 1%. They want the rent to be 1% of the total price that they pay, including the rehab costs if there is any. So like a lot of people would be happy to pay 60,000 to collect about 600 in rent. So that's an awesome deal. And the fact that you weren't like not even doing any investing really until you got these business credit cards, it should really be, setting off a lot of light bulbs for people who are on the fence about real estate, because you're creating a huge amount of wealth by doing what you're doing. You're buying properties with a lot of equity. You're collecting a ridiculous amount in rent. You're literally setting yourself up to be a millionaire in the coming years. Like, you're creating wealth for your family, passive income. It's huge. Like, people really need to take this a little more seriously. People think like, oh, how do I do deals with the business credit cards? And then, there's some people who are seasoned investors who are out there like, oh, why would I do that? Why would I ever want to do a deal with a business credit card? That's crazy. That's not safe. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. There's
Is.
literally no downside to it. You're not using your own cash. I have cash. Why would I use it if I can just easily use business credit at 0% too? You get like 0% for an average of 12 months roughly on each offer. And then, we get you multiple rounds of funding, and then we get you new zero interest. So each time we do it, you get a new zero interest offer, and then you can move balances around and really try to maintain it at zero interest as long as possible. And then once you've tenanted the property, it's cash flowing, it appraises. Then what do? You do a cash out refinance, and you get a long-term rental mortgage or a HELOC, depending on how high the price point is. So, this is really good information for people out there who are looking to get into real estate. Maybe you're a wholesaler. I've wholesaled some deals. Now I've done my first flip. This is my primary focus for the last like 8.5 years has been running and growing Fund and Grow. But now, I'm starting to do more deals myself. I've done almost like eight or nine deals at this point total. And I have like one rental property. So I got to catch up to you, Maurice. But, having access to business credit, it's made me feel that extra level of confidence that I'm not just spending my own money. I'm not draining
Right.
my bank account, which kind of hurts. You have business credit, you can do way more deals, and you don't have to, you don't have to get a stomach ache when you see your bank account being drained to fund the deal, and now you're sitting on that money for 6 months or whatever. So that's awesome. I
true.
love it. I love it. All right, so you've got that one deal you told us about, $3,300 a month. Are there any other deals that you've done, funding, or using the business credit as the funding?
Right, yes. So we have one of the deal that we end up getting. I had a buddy that contacted me, and he had a house from his sister
Hmm.
for $5,500. $5,500. We end up putting $3,800 into it, and now we're getting $975 a month from it. So that was
What?
probably a slam dunk, as you would
What?
say. That was the best. Yeah, that was
Dude,
a slam
how are
dunk.
you finding these deals? You're like somewhat
Yes.
of a newer investor, right? And you're
Yeah,
finding
yeah.
amazing deals. You're buying it with business credit cards that all the naysayers say, "Oh, you can't do that," or there's on that Bigger Pockets thread. There's so many people that are just basically talking shit, and they don't even know what they're talking
Oh
about.
yeah.
They're just chiming in, like how people on Bigger Pockets are. They love to just comment, rack those comments up. And a lot of times they're just being skeptics. That's like what Bigger Pockets is full of. A bunch of people who are naysaying skeptics. But I know Maurice was on the thread too. I remember, I'm pretty sure I might have even commented at one point. And I remember Maurice was like, he was asking people questions. He wasn't sure about it. And then he took the leap. And now he's got, how much did you get with Fund and Grow?
Right now, I believe I got 230. 230,000.
Unreal.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
230. Yeah.
Wow, dude,
Because
that is
I
sick.
mean, I got 230, and then within that year and a half, and
Hmm.
with the increases, they go back and increase the amounts for you. So it's really good. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
got a lot of people that ask me that on Bigger Pockets, they'll hit me up in the inbox like, "Hey, give me some information on this and this and that."
Hmm.
So I call them and I tell them, "Hey, yeah, it's real, man. It is really real. I got everything the
Nice.
$230,000 in a year and a half with really ease. So
Yeah.
it's worth
So
the investment.
so did you have to do any of it, or like did Fund and Grow just do all of the setting up and following up and increasing and all that good stuff?
That's the best part, Mike. They did everything. They did everything. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to call anybody. I didn't have to answer a phone. I didn't have to do anything at all. And a lot of skeptics on the Bigger Pockets say, "Hey, well, you can do it for yourself." Okay, well, I looked at it as time is money, and I wanted to
Yep.
get, um, I wanted to move fast as I could. So why not have someone else do it for me that is a pro in the business and know what they're doing?
Yep.
And yeah.
And also, a lot of those people don't realize, like, we get multiple accounts set up simultaneously at the exact same time, which is not easy to do. And then, we take it to another level and make sure each application is reviewed by a human being at the bank, like an actual decision maker. And people don't realize what really goes into it. People don't realize that we do 15 million every month in credit lines that we originate, and they're not really thinking about the relationships that we have that they basically would be
Mhm.
piggybacking off of. And, just because it's business credit lines or business credit cards, they assume anyone can do it. But the truth of the matter is, I see thousands of applications submit every month from our team, and I see what happens in the initial approval, and it's not much. It's usually very small, and a lot of times, even with people with 750 credit scores, a lot of the time, the initial approval doesn't exist. They get denied right off the bat for simple
Right.
reasons that aren't necessarily an end all be all, and that's how we get the applications approved even after they're denied. But my point is, we submit a handful of applications, and most of them are denied in the beginning, and it's not until we get that review done with the decision maker. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to ask for the higher increase. They don't know these things that we know. Obviously, we've been doing this for over 10 years, and we do 15 million a month. We're like 40 employees. We have a solid, huge team here. We just bought a new $1 million building, and yeah, so it sounds kind of weird to like pay someone to get you business credit cards to some people, the skeptics. But the truth is, it's worth it. You're not going to get 200,000 on your own.
Yeah.
You're not. You might get 10,000 on your own, and you're not going to buy many houses with that, unless you're Maurice and you find deals for $5,800. But
Right, right.
but yeah, it's really true, and it is what it is. Some people just they got to do things themselves, but I don't know. I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to put a new motor in my car. I just had to get a new rear end in my Hellcat because I guess there's a recall on them and it was making noise. I'm not going to do that myself. Obviously not. I have a warranty, but I'm not going to figure out how to do the closing paperwork and the title work that the title company does. No, we're going to pay them a couple grand to do it, even though there are like 1% of investors out there who will do their own closing. I had one of my buyers wanted to do their own closing one time. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not figuring out all those
Right.
nuances. I'm going to pay someone to do it, just like I'll pay a lawyer or a doctor or whatever. But did you have an entity established before you started with Fund and Grow? Do
I did not. No,
you have an LLC set up now?
I do. Yeah. So now I have an LLC, so everything flows into there. We put the houses in the LLC, so that
Nice.
makes it a lot
So you
easier.
got you got the business credit set up. You started with us. You had no entity established, so basically a startup,
Hmm.
completely brand new to the somewhat new to the real estate space. I'm sure you've done tons of research before you actually bought stuff. Um, So yeah, so we set up the entity for you. We set up the business credit lines. It's all included in the membership fee, and
Yeah.
that just makes it a no-brainer for people, especially people who either basically anyone, because it works great for a new investor like yourself, but also we've got people that are doing like 100 flips a year that are getting into our program so they can just have access to more money. So it doesn't matter if you're a
Right.
newbie. It's all about seeing the value in getting access to hundreds of thousands of dollars and zero interest business credit that doesn't show up on your personal report. It doesn't matter if you're new or seasoned. It really is like it's a win-win for anyone. I personally do it. I personally use the funding like you're doing for my real estate deals. And what I really like though, I don't know if you've done any wholesale deals. I like the idea of buying and holding and all that, but wholesale deals I really like because they're so easy. You get a good price on
Right.
it. You find your buyer, and have now after getting business credit, now you can actually be the cash buyer. So now when you're negotiating with sellers, you are an actual cash buyer now. And so you can negotiate a lower price. And then if you need to, you could do a double close on it. Because sometimes with a wholesale deal, if you get a buyer at like $20,000 over what you have the price under contract for, you're not going to always want to do an assignment fee because then your buyer is going to see your contract and he's going to see what you're making before you close. And sometimes that could screw the deal up. So if you're an actual cash buyer, you can negotiate the lowest price with the seller because you have that extra level of confidence knowing you can buy it, and then you can line up a buyer at an even higher price, and
Right.
have a better spread that way because you're the cash buyer. I just made 21,000 on a wholesale deal. I haven't done anything to it. All I did was find a good deal,
Nice.
lined my buyer up, and I just made that money. And it was really easy. Other than having to deal with the sellers who are a complete pain in the ass, miserable people, but the deal's done now, and it is what it is. And that was like the first deal I've done where the seller was miserable like that, but it is what it is,
Right.
you know.
Another thing I do like also that I have explained to a couple people on the Fund and Grow forum when they
Hmm.
ask me a couple questions is on those credit cards, most of those credit cards are have rewards, cashbacks that Fund and Grow is getting you. So I know over doing the rehab on the first set of homes that we end up getting, I got over $2,100 in cashback rewards because I used the card for every single thing that we did. So I even used the card to pay the contractor. Um, so you get points or cash back from using that card. So use that card for everything that you need to use it for. So now I also have it set up to some of the homes that we have. We pay the electric bill and the gas bill. So we pay that on that card so we can get the cash back from it. It's 0%. You're gonna pay, you know, that money anyway. So why not
Hmm.
use the card and get your cash back? So we just
That's
letting that
awesome.
rack up.
God, I love that. That is music to my ears. I love hearing that. So
Yeah.
you made $2,000 because you're using the business credit cards.
Hmm.
That's like amazing. So let's talk a little bit about how the wire transfer process works to clear it up for people because I'm sure people are like still not really understanding how you can do this. So how were you able to buy as a cash buyer with a business credit card? How did you send the wire to the title company? How long did that take? How easy was it? Give us a rundown of that and how it was from your perspective.
So for me, I use a service called Plastiq, and all I do is send over the HUD that the title company sent me, upload that, then it is wired to the title company in a day, and that's it. That is it. So uh, put in the credit card information on Plastiq. They send the wire right on over to the title company.
And what
It's
is
that
it?
easy.
And what does
And
that cost?
it cost me 2.5%. 2.5%. But I'm also getting cashback rewards from
I was
using
just
that.
thinking that. It's
So
literally
I'm getting
free.
cash back rewards. Yeah, so it's really free. And then also my accountant. You have to talk to your accountant on this. This is not any advice on this, but we
Mhm.
write off the fees because it's part of doing business.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow. So it's damn near free money. It's zero interest.
Right.
Doesn't show up on your
Hmm.
personal credit report, which is amazing. And the cash back rewards that you're getting because you're making huge purchases by buying a house with business credit card. So that's like everyone's dream who has a rewards card. I know I've got rewards cards. I'm sure people watching this, you got some rewards cards and you're always trying to use it, right? Like if you're making a big
Yeah.
purchase, you're like, I don't have my rewards card on me. And you really want to make sure you put all the money you can on that card that has rewards. And you're over here making 2 grand off of the deals that you're doing, and it's literally washing out the fee that Plastiq is a third party partner of ours who will charge a credit card and then send the wire transfer. They'll send it right over to the title company, and it's pretty much the exact same process as sending a wire from your bank account to be a cash buyer. And the difference is if you use your bank account, you're not getting any rewards from the business credit cards. So you're not getting any, any cash back, any free travel. I know Ari just went to Barcelona, Spain, and he's had it was like a $10,000 trip because he flew first class, and it was totally free,
Hmm.
totally free.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're still on the fence after
Yeah.
seeing this, you might want to go see a doctor. No, I'm just kidding.
No, see a
I'm
doctor because
joking.
it really is that easy. It really is. I mean, I I tell people all the time, like I said, from the Fund and Grow, I'm in the Bigger Pockets form, and there's a long form. If you're seeing this and you know you've typed it in Bigger Pockets and you see everyone saying no, it's not real, this and that, or you can do it on your own, and
Hmm.
then you see my thread and everyone floods my inbox and asks me questions. So I
That's
help
awesome.
because I know how I was. So I help them
Yes,
out like, listen, hey, this
I
is how it
remember.
is. It's real. So, and a lot of people have hit me back up like, man, thank you for giving me that information. I've been able to pull the plug and do it. So I'm like, hey,
Yes.
that's all is what it's about.
Heck yes. I love that. Dude, I remember seeing you on the forum posting, like, not sure about it. Some people were saying, I would never do that. I would never, why would I pay
Yeah.
a company to do that? And it's like so funny to see those comments every once in a while. And like we do a lot of webinars. We just did a huge webinar with Ross Hamilton. Do you know who he is? Connected
Hmm.
Investors.
Yeah.
He's like huge. The webinar was unbelievable. Anyway, there was some skeptics on there, but not many because we brought in a ton of new clients. And at first Ross was kind of not sure about it because he's big. He's a big hard money guy. That's like his platform. He has
Right.
is all about hard money, and then he's also sells software for properties, finding deals, cash buyers, all that good stuff. But I met with him and we had a really good conversation, and I showed him some numbers, and now he's a believer, and he's got tons of clients now that he's brought in, and I'm sure a lot of those people saw the Bigger Pockets thread at some point, because it's just funny though. On the webinar, we always get some people on the webinar that are like, "This sounds too good to be true. Like, why would the bank lend at zero interest? How can I do this? How can I buy deals with credit cards?" At first people really got to go through like a indoctrination process to get their mind around it. But once people realize it and they start seeing these video interviews that we do and they start seeing the webinar and guys like Ross backing it, it becomes a no-brainer. And it's like, why would I not be using business credit lines if I can get zero interest? I get rewards points. I could
Yeah.
send a wire transfer. I can close more deals. I don't have to deal with, Joe Schmo, the hard money lender, who doesn't want to approve the deal. And also, hard money is going to cost 12% for most investors are going to pay 12% interest, especially newer investors. And a lot of times, a hard money lender
Yes.
won't even work with you if you haven't done multiple deals. They want to know how many deals you've done before they'll do a deal with you. And if you're brand new, you just lost access to most hard money lenders. And then now you're paying 12% interest. You're paying 2 to 3 points on an origination fee. So for, let's say, $100,000, you're paying $15,000 in fees. That's the profit you could have
Hmm.
had right out the window to to the hard money lender. And Maurice is here telling you guys he's got $230,000 in business credit, 0 interest. He's getting rewards back. So it's literally covering the cost of the wire transfer fee. So it's literally like free money. The only money that you've really had to spend is what you've paid Fund&Grow for your 12-month membership. And it's nothing compared to $230,000. The cost of our membership is really nothing. I really appreciate you being on with us. I'm just trying to make sure I covered everything and got got to the questions I wanted to ask you. Were there any other deals that you wanted to give us some info about besides the 2 that we talked about so far? I know you said you did 6 total.
We did another one. We just finished up. We closed on another home here right the day before Thanksgiving, and we just finished the final walkthrough the 31st of 2019. So we were
So you bought it?
to get that done. We bought it. Yep, we
Okay.
bought it. Closed on the house
Nice.
with the title company day before Thanksgiving, and then we finished the tab of it on December 31st, 2019. So, and then we have probably about 2 weeks into January 2020, and we'll have someone already ready to go. We're pre-leasing the home, so we had people
Nice.
already ready to go that were looking for it, and so on that one we'll be getting $975 a month for it.
No. And what did you pay for that one?
We paid $35,000 for it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I think I need to consult with you on some deal finding strategies.
Yeah, 35,
awesome.
and we only put 6,500 into it.
So again, that's well above the 1% of rent to purchase price, which is the formula that a lot of landlord investors go by. And I personally sold a duplex to one of my landlord buyers, and it's a duplex, and I sold it for $150, I believe. This was like a year ago. And it was right at that 1% mark. I think he was going to collect like $1,500 a month in rent, and he paid $150 for it happily. Then you're over here buying deals for $30,000 and you're getting $975 a month. And the other one you said $65,000 and you're getting $3,300 a month. So that's that kind of market where landlord investing is just beautiful. And there's lots of areas like that over here too in Florida. But you're in the Ohio market, right?
Yes.
Are you working with wholesalers? Are you getting any deals from wholesalers, or where are you getting your deals?
Yeah, we have some wholesalers, and then also I do a little bit of finding them myself. So I do a little bit of cold calling or sending out some mailers myself too.
Okay, nice. But you haven't wholesale deals. You bought and hold all of
No.
them.
Yes.
Okay. So you're that's cool. So you're kind of like a wholesaler / rental, buy and hold investor. Because a lot of the buy and hold investors aren't doing that side of it. A lot of them are buying from wholesalers, or
Right.
they've got a real estate agent who's giving them pocket listings before they list them. And so what you're doing is you're getting the deepest discount because you're going direct to sellers. You're sending out mail.
Mhm.
You're probably hitting the tax delinquent list and the distressed types of lists like that, code violations, evictions, high equity, absentee owners. I've gotten deals from all those lists, and I do the same exact thing. I actually, I took one of my affiliates' courses, Tom Kroll. I went through his course, figured out how to do what you're doing, figured out what list to get, figured out the direct mail thing, and that's how I find my deals. I just, like I told you guys before, I got one for $70,000. The house is worth $160,000, and it looked really good. It wasn't bad. It needed a new roof, needed AC, needed, to be updated in the kitchen and stuff. But one of the bathrooms was updated. Really clean house. Anyway, the house is worth $160,000. I bought it for $70,000, and I just flipped it to an investor who wants to do a flip on it, and I sold it for $91,000 to him. And he's still going to make a good chunk after he does the rehab, puts 20 or
Right.
30 into it. He's still going to make 30 or 40 or whatever on it. And that's what a lot of flippers, they're happy to do that. And they're happy to buy from wholesalers who are finding the best deals. So Maurice is finding the best deals, and now I get it, because he's doing the the direct mail. Cold calling is another big one. I haven't done too much cold calling. I have the Mojo dialer, but I barely use it. I gotta get my assistant up and running on it. But that's awesome. That's amazing. I love hearing that. You're building like that's like a lot of wealth that you're building right there. You're setting your future up, your family, your kids. You're setting all that up through credit cards, which is awesome. I love that.
Yes.
So now you've gone through the process of Fund and Grow. You got 230,000. Are you going to go through? Do you think you're going to go back through the Fund and Grow process at all, or what are you thinking about that?
Yeah, so to scale, we do need to get another round going. And at
Yeah.
this time, I'm speaking with a partner that is looking to come on with me because I have told him how I
Mm-hmm.
got the 230 and he was mind blown. And he was just like, no way.
Nice.
I'm like, hey, if you want to partner up with me, let's go, let's do another round. So I am looking at a partner that wants to come in and so we can scale and take it to the next level.
And now, I'm curious, did you find this guy through Bigger Pockets?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
I
That's
did
funny.
not. It
I had a
was one of my
feeling.
buddies.
Nice. So that's awesome. So you went through the program, you're like, telling people about it now. That's awesome. And that's I love hearing that. And now you've gotten 230,000. You got some balances on there, but you said you'll have it paid off in the next like 8 months or something like that. And
Yes.
you did tell us that you refinanced one of your properties. So a lot of people are like, how do I buy
Hmm.
with a credit card as a landlord? And what do I do, after I bought it? And it's like, you refinance it once you put a tenant and you've appraised and it's cash flowing, just like a cash buyer would do. You refinance it and you get a cash out rental loan, and now you move on to the next deal and repeat the process
Yep.
because now you can get the balances off the business credit cards, which don't show up on your personal credit report, which is a big deal. Like you said, you went from a 710 to an 820 because of doing the right thing and using business credit. A lot of investors, they're using personal credit, racking up debt on their personal cards, just completely ruining their credit. Scores are in the 600s, 500s sometimes. And it's because they don't really know how much business credit is available. And a lot of these people think they can do it on their own. And guess what? They don't get enough. They don't get a lot. And I see it all the time. I was telling you guys earlier on the initial column in the auto approval spot, there's nothing. It's zeros. It's not until we get on the phone and we, work our magic essentially and get the increases, get the approvals, and then you got 50, 100,000, $230,000 that you can actually get deals done with. So, if you're on the fence about this, or if you were, I'm sure you're not anymore after watching this video, because it's literally a no-brainer now after hearing what Maurice has gone through and how great it's been. So I think we covered everything. And at this point, do you have anything at all that you would like to say to a new or seasoned investor? Now that you're basically a seasoned investor, you've done 6 deals, you're finding deeply discounted properties, you know what you're doing, you know how to find deals, you've gotten the funding, you've done some really great deals that honestly, I've seen seasoned investors, guys that have been doing this for years, not even get a deal like that. And a lot of those guys are the same people that are going to be like, oh, I wouldn't want to use a business credit card to do a deal. Meanwhile, they're out here paying nearly retail on the deals that they're buying. So, tell us what, anything that you've got for a new or a seasoned investor who, is on the fence about it, anything you can say.
Yeah, so for a new investor, I would just really go ahead and if you need a partner, partner up with somebody that you can trust and come in with Fund and Grow. Use and do your research on the home that you want to buy. Go ahead and purchase the home, rehab it, get your renter in there, get some cash flow coming, then refinance the house. For the seasoned investor, if you're looking to scale and you need to, your goal is to scale to another level and not just level your business out, this is where you need to be. Because if you're going to use all the cash that's in your savings or that you have saved up, that might drain you out. So with the
Mm-hmm.
business credit, I don't have to touch any of my savings or at all. Everything is through the credit cards. So again, I pay all the bills that I need to. So when we purchase a home, we need to get the water on and we need to get the lights on and everything like that. We pay
Mm-hmm.
those with the credit card so we can get those rewards back. And that's the biggest best thing that I like about it.
Awesome. I love it. I really appreciate you coming on today and doing this interview with us. I really feel like this is going to help a lot of people. Just like weren't sure at first. Now you've literally just set your future up. You've got, a lot of wealth and equity in those properties. And, that is going to really, really pay off in the long run, especially since you're holding properties. This is
Yes.
something that really can help a lot of people kind of get out of the rat race. You're working your 9 to 5, whether you're doing blue collar, white collar job, it doesn't matter. Anyone can do this. If you're a contractor, if you're working an office job, you should definitely take the leap, get into real estate. This is how, like, I believe it's something like 80% of millionaires gain their wealth through real estate or something like that. I've heard
Hmm.
that quote before, so yeah, I definitely recommend getting into real estate, do some deals. If you're in the Ohio area, connect with Maurice. He can help you source the deal. Obviously, he knows how to find discounted deals, and he's probably going to get to the point where he's finding so many deals that he might not even be able to buy them all. So he might be able to hand them off to you. So if you're in the area, feel free to connect with Maurice. Maurice, are you on YouTube at all? Like, if so, you can comment on the video. That way, I don't know if you're able
Yes,
to do that.
yes,
That
we
way,
are.
people can
Yep,
try
I
to
will.
connect with you, if they want to. So anyway, I think we covered everything. This went on a little longer than I anticipated, so I appreciate you, staying on and taking time out of your day to do this with us. I really do appreciate that. And to
No
anyone,
problem.
who's interested, who, wants to pre-qualify, find out how much you can get, ask a bunch of questions, talk with our team. We've got a team of 40 employees here. We're on the Inc. 5000 list going on 5 years in a row. We have over 1,600 positive reviews online. We don't have people complaining because we take care of people. I care about my reputation. I care about doing what I say I'm going to do. I don't say I'm going to do something and then flake, or in any regard of in any part of my life. And that's how we operate here. And we don't let people work here if they don't have that type of mindset. So everyone that works here is very integrity driven, positive, happy. They got their shit together, so to speak, and they take care of our clients because they think the same way as us. We all look at this like it's our business. Everyone's got their own department. They're managing their clients, and they really care. They care about their job. They care about their client, and we all really kind of come together as a team, as like a cohesive unit, and make sure that all of our clients are being kept up with. We communicate. We answer emails. You call into the office, someone answers the phone, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's not just like some automated thing. We don't just send you a bunch of videos and just tell you to go do it yourself, and and then like just take support tickets and emails. No, you call in, you speak with us. You're really going to love working with us. So anyway, go to the link, pre-qualify if you want to learn more about what we have to offer with a 12-month membership where you can get up to and over $250,000. You can bring your partner in with you. We set up entities for you. We do all the work. It's a done for you service, just like we did for Maurice, and literally over 200 clients a month that we deal with, 15 million in funding that we originate every month. You'd be in really good hands to work with us. We're very integrity driven. We want to work with people who see the value in this. And if you don't see the value, that's fine. But if you do, smash the like button, put a comment up, and feel free to subscribe to our channel because we're going to be doing a lot more interviews like this. We primarily work with a lot of real estate investors, but that's not all that we're working with. We have tons of other businesses: doctors, lawyers, chiropractors, truck drivers, kitchen repair businesses, restaurant owners. Dude, we have just any type of business, e-commerce businesses. That's another big one. We're using the program to fund their business, to buy inventory, bulk inventory. Imagine buying bulk inventory and getting rewards on that purchase. So you're making that cash back rewards like Maurice did. And we're going to get into a lot of other industries as well. So subscribe, hit the like button, comment, hit the notification bell. that will notify you guys when we do more videos. Maurice, thank you so much for doing this with me today. I really appreciate it. And thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget, subscribe to our channel. We're going to be doing more videos like this about real estate investors that have done the program. We're going to be doing this with e-commerce, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.